hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Ari, and today let's do my June haul. So, I didn't buy a ton of books in June, but I did buy some books. So, divide this like normal, the books that I got from book boxes and the books that I purchased for myself. Let's start with the ones I purchased for myself. So the first two books I got from thrift books, used. I got Shatter City by Scott Westerfeld. This is the second book in the, I don't know, the Imposters series. I don't know if that's actually what it's called. But the first book in the series was Imposter, which is a series that follows the same universe as the Ugly series, but many years later, and doesn't follow the same characters, right? So I didn't love the first book, but I'm interested enough to keep on reading, and I was ordering other things and needed to spend more money to get free shipping, right? Unfortunately, this was the only book in that order that I didn't have a problem with when I got it. So a lot of refunds were issued. The other book that I ordered was The Cabin in the Woods. It never showed up. I got a full refund on it. And then I also got a free book with that order, which they sent me an art copy, a galley copy. This isn't for sale. What the absolute shit. A bookseller should never be selling ARC copies or galley copies. So they sent me a galley copy of In the Watchful City. They can't really refund it for me because it was like on thrift books you get points and then you earn free books. So this was originally like $6, but they ended up giving it to me for free because I had enough points, right? So it's still selling the book even though it was my free copy. Not cool, whatever bookstore from thrift books that this came through, because thrift books is like a chain, or not a chain, it's like a website that sells from like a lot of used bookstores that are like individually owned bookstores that sell through thrift books. So this wasn't necessarily like thrift books' fault, it was the individual bookstore, but I don't know what that individual bookstore is because they always send it in thrift books packaging. Anyway, In the Watchful City. This is a queer dystopian sci-fi. The main character is non-binary transgendered, which is why I picked this up. It sounded interesting, and like I said, I had the points to get a free book and I needed to get free shipping, so I picked this up. I planned to read it last month but didn't have time to, so I didn't. So this is just going on my shelves. Next up, for a readathon prompt, I needed a book with pride colors, like the pride flag colors on the cover, right? So that's way harder to find than you would think it is, but I saw this one at Target. I picked it up and didn't end up reading it for the prompt. I ended up not reading anything, but I had a book on my shelf that would have fit the prompt, which was The Perishing. You don't care about that. Anyway, I picked this up because it kind of sounds interesting, and I might read it this month because this is Disability Awareness Month, but this follows a bunch of teenagers in a school for the deaf doing dramatic things and sleeping with each other. So it sounds like Gossip Girl with a bunch of deaf students, and that sounds perfect. Perfect. Next up, every time I go to the mall, I go into the Barnes & Noble and buy things that I don't need. The first thing I bought was Hide by Kristen White. I read this. It was awful. Do not recommend. This is a horror story that is off the wall and bizarre, very camp, not my thing. The other book that I bought was Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This one I've heard, oh, there's a receipt in here. Oh, get $1 off of any handcrafted beverage. Anyway, this one is supposed to be like cozy fantasy. Like, it's super cute, super adorable. Everybody loves this, but it's about a retired D&D kind of orc fighter who retires and opens a coffee bar, I think. I've heard nothing but great things about this. This is going to be one of those things where I'm depressed and want something happy to read. This is what I'm gonna pick up for that. Let's talk about what I got in book boxes. So, first thing I got in a book box was the selected works of H.G. Wells, which came in my Book Nerds Essentials box. I'm never gonna read this, but it's gonna go on to my shelf with all the other pretty faux leather classics and make me look intelligent for anybody who walks into my living room. Next up was my fairy loot for May, because my fairy loot always comes like a month behind, so my May fairy loot came at the beginning of June and I unboxed it in June. You might have seen that. I got The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah, right? Very pretty, everywhere, gorgeous. I don't really know what this is about, but apparently I also picked it for Book of the Month. Forgot about that. So I have 2 copies of this book. You can see the difference between like the Fairy Loot special cover and a regular cover. So I'm gonna give this one away to somebody else who wants to read it and keep this one. I didn't do this on purpose. Usually for Book of the Month Club, I just pick whatever the fantasy selection is, whether I've heard of it or not, and then forget about it. I've gotten 2 copies of it and I don't know what it's about, so hopefully it's really good. This is basically inspired from 1001 Nights. It's a tale of a legendary smuggler, a cowardly prince, and a dangerous quest across the desert to find a magical lamp. I haven't. I don't have any plans to read it. I haven't heard much about it. If you have, let me know in the comments what you think about this. But 2 copies randomly. Oops. Oh well. Anyway, that's it. That's all I hauled this month. Not too bad. If you hauled any books this month, tell me what you picked up. Tell me if there's something that you read that I should haul in July. If you don't have anything to say and you want to leave an emoji in the comments, leave double of any emoji. 2 of any emoji, since I got 2 of the same book. 2 of any emoji. You can be even stars, since it's the Stardust Thief. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.